So ladies and gentlemen, making his way to our stage tonight is one of the most iconic and cunning figures in professional wrestling history. Known for his psychological mastery, his chilling presence, and of course his deadly companion Damien. He has captivated audiences with a mix of mind games and brutal in-ring skill. He's a man whose legacy has cemented itself on our sport, earning him place in the hearts of fans around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, please welcome the master of the mat, the one and only Jake the Snake Roberts! And his lovely wife, Cheryl.
What up, Jake?
How the hell are you guys doing?
Yeah! Woo! Welcome back.
Welcome back,
Me
Jake.
too.
Hey y'all, it's cold here.
It's gonna get warmer. It's gonna get warmer.
So Jake, what are you thinking of Montreal so far?
Too damn cold. No, it is, man. We woke up the other morning, it was what, 80 degrees? 80 degrees. I had the top down on my Cadillac. I got me a 1965 Cadillac, stay in the middle. Put 750 horsepower in that son of a bitch. They can't catch me no more. And now I come up here and freeze my freaking ass off. I don't like it. Snakes aren't into cold weather.
Jake, it is an honor and a pleasure for all of us to have you and Cheryl tonight here in Montreal. We want to welcome you to this exclusive event here. Jake, why don't you tell us a little bit, how did you first get involved in the wrestling industry?
Necessity. You know, I was raised by my mother. My father split, and he was a wrestler. A lot bigger than me. He was 7 foot and weighed 400 pounds. So growing up, I always wanted to be around my dad. Never got the opportunity. I'd see him once a year, maybe twice a year for a dinner. That was about it. Never came to ball games. Never came to graduation, none of that stuff, man. And, when I graduated from high school, I wanted him to know that I graduated. Because nobody in my family had ever graduated from high school. We were poor. I lived with my grandparents till I was 12. So I didn't know what the word family meant. But I did know that I wanted my dad to know that I graduated by God and I was going to college. So I went and visited him. And I told him my thoughts and my dreams. And he looked at me and said, well, I hope you don't want nothing from me. That's a hell of a damn thing to say. All I wanted him to do is say, I'm proud of you. That's all. That don't cost nothing. He couldn't do it. And a few nights later, I was watching him wrestle, and I'd had a few beers, as young guys do, and my alcoholic brain started thinking, that's danger, and it told me, if you want your dad to be proud of you, you're going to have to go down to that ring and get in it and kick somebody's ass. That sounded like a damn good thing to do. So I charged down to the ring, challenged the guy, got in there and got the shit ripped out of me. And this guy took his time too, man. He didn't just beat me up real quick. He took his time. He stretched my stuff different directions as they've never been in since. I was screaming uncle. I was starting to cry. I already peed myself. Left me in a puddle in the ring. I crawled back to the locker room and my father looked down at me and said, "I'm ashamed of you. You'll never amount to a damn thing." And turned and walked off. I remember that night like it was yesterday. I remember going home and so upset. And I made myself a promise that I was going to become a professional wrestler and be better than my father ever was. I had never wrestled in my life. We didn't have it in high school. And for me to start wrestling was just an impossibility. So an opportunity came along if they needed a referee. So I said, I'll do it. I never refereed in my life. I went out there and tried it. Did a horrible damn job of it. I was the only referee that saw everything. I didn't let those poor heels get any heat. I'd make them break. I'd get in their damn way. Fans were loving me. That's not a good thing for a referee to do, have the fans chant your name. So I found out real quick that I had to change my ways or I wasn't going to have a job. So I did change my ways. I started working with the guys, learning what to do, not to do, where to go, where to be, reacting. And I learned a hell of a lot from referee. I learned how to perform in front of a crowd, which a lot of guys are gun shy. That first year in the business, you lock up, you freeze because you're not used to being in front of people chanting and screaming and hollering and all that. I just stayed after. Started to wrestle. And I was probably the worst wrestler to ever put tights on. I was horrible. I mean, really bad. I remember getting fired every place I went. I was that bad, man. I was embarrassingly bad. Thank God nobody filmed that shit. Because I'd pay the money to get away from, get those tapes. Yeah, there better not be no damn video out there of me. Not back then. And I went to work in Kansas City, and there was a guy there I was pretty tight with because we like to smoke pot together. And he happened to be the boss, and he saw my problem, diagnosed it, and told me, he says, what the problem is you can't get away from everybody talking about your fucking father. And you're always trying to measure up to him. What you need to do is go someplace that nobody knows you and go there with an idea in your mind about who you want to be. Do you want to be a Dusty Rhodes? Do you want to be a Terry Funk? Do you want to be a Harley Race? Which one of these guys do you want to be like? And start imitating those guys. That sounded pretty easy. And I took a road trip from Kansas City to Vancouver, British Columbia. So nobody knew who the hell I was up there. And I went there, and the promoter's name was Al Tomko. He was business partners with one of Canada's greatest athletes, Gene Kaniski. And he was there, and I started to wrestle the new way, my way. And I started picking things up. started piecing it together. And then I got the opportunity to be the main event. Well, that was awesome. You know, to be the guy that's on the headlining of the card, and I was going to wrestle a guy by the name of Moose Morowski. I don't know if you guys know him, but I owe him my career. Because he took me in that ring and he started just teaching me how to be a main eventer. The main event wrestling is completely different than opening match wrestling. Two different animals completely. So I got going, got it started. Moose helped me along. I left there, went to Japan, got my ass kicked for 8 weeks straight. Every damn night. Those Japs were in great shape. And they just get you in the ring and run you to death, man. But I made some money, came back, went to Calgary. Stu Hart, Bret Hart, the Hart Boys. Bret and I wound up becoming buddies. I wound up moving in with Bret. And we were at it all the time. Dynamite Kid was there. Learned a lot from Dynamite. Learned a lot from Bret. I stayed the hell away from Stu though, because I didn't want him to get his hands on me. I knew what he'd do. He'd twist me up like a damn pretzel. I see you do that to lots of people, especially his own kids. You know? I watched you put Bret to sleep 5 times in a row, different ways.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it was brutal. It was brutal. He had blood coming out of his nose, blood coming out of his ears. He had peed and shit himself. You knew that when he passed out. Learned a lot, but that's how I got started.
Woo.